For this next project, we're going to learn about interactivity with objects. You're going to have options to do various different types of interactive media. The first option is to just make some of these things move when you click on them. You may have seen this in some interactive children's apps or whatnot. So if I click on this cloud, maybe I'll have him peek or move his arms. Click on this boat, I'll just maybe have it rock for now, but you guys will, with your animation skills, can make it do something more complex. For now, this monster is already a movie clip called Monster, and this is a movie clip called Cloud. Now remember, for interactive media, we need to use movie clips versus graphics. Movie clips allows us to still get stuck on one frame, but allow the timeline of this animation to either play or stop depending on what we want. If we made it a graphic symbol, our animation inside this timeline would be going in sync with this timeline, which again, if we're stuck on frame 1, kind of like a menu screen or a home screen or the scene we want to play where we kind of keep everything the same, we still want to have this able to move or stop depending on if I click on this cloud. So how do we set this up? Well, first let's set up a little animation. And again, for now, I'm just gonna, maybe have this creature who is hiding behind the cloud. Don't get fooled by him being in the front. He's in front because if I double click on him, remember we can modify the symbol. But when I go back to scene 1, he will again be behind the cloud. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna insert a keyframe here. And I'm gonna raise him up a little bit. And then maybe I will see if I can trying to grab these arms is going to be difficult, so I'm going to just delete it. Actually, I'll probably delete. I'm going to delete almost to the base, just so I can see what it looked like before. I'm going to turn on my onion skinning, and I can see here. Maybe I'll start having him move his arms out. I'll keep the linear look. And then I'm going to use the line tool. And how many joints does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, and it goes up to here perhaps. So I'll go 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again, I won't spend too much time. You guys will, because this is your portfolio work, but for me, I'm just gonna kind of do a little quick. So I'm gonna eyedrop this green and paint it in, and now I can get rid of this stroke. So I could see here he's let's turn off the onion skin. So he goes, oh, he's about to raise his arm. I'll do this really quickly here. Onion skin again. So we'll leave that. 2, 3, 4. Now remember, it tries to snap. If I want to turn that off, I can go to dock, turn off the magnet, and it won't try to snap. But again, I'll just do this really quick and dirty. All right, I'll turn that back on. And I'm going to eyedrop this green, paint it in. I'm going to eyedrop this darker green, paint that in. And I'm going to double click on my stroke and get rid of that. All right. So again, just, we can, maybe I will copy this frame and paste this frame here, but raise it up. And then copy this frame. All right, so what do I have? I have this guy go, whoa, okay. All right. Now, just so you can see what's happening, I'm going to lower this cloud and lower this monster. Now remember, there's no interactivity right now, so this main timeline is going to stay on frame 1. There's no animation on this timeline, but because this is a symbol, it's going to try to loop through this over and over again. And let's see what it looks like when we hit Command Enter. Okay, so there you go. He's going all crazy there like a monkey. So let's stop that. So we're going to go into that symbol and learn about a function called stop. Now we can just write it by going in here and just writing. And I bet you guys, with the skills you have about rain and snow, probably know the function that's built into animate that would tell it to stop, because you guys know a function has some kind of name. And then those parentheses, semicolon. And the function name for stop, if it's built in, is probably going to be something intuitive. And for those who are guessing, yes, it is stop. Now again, if you don't know, you're like, I really don't know this. Remember, you have your code snippets. And this time we are trying to navigate our timeline, right? We're either trying to stop or play or move in our timeline. So this is here in timeline navigation. And look, stop at this frame. And if we double click on that, and because I was on the frame, look right. This dot stop. Oh yes, and remember, this is not ActionScript 3, so we have to add this part. ActionScript 3, we could have just done that, but with HTML5, we have to put this. And so again, we have to learn this dialect. Okay? And again, these are just comments, so we don't need those. Of course, you can leave them if it helps you learn. So now I've hit Command Enter. It stopped. Okay. Alrighty. It stopped because this told it to stop, and not on the main timeline, but on this monster animation. You see, that little A says stop here. Okay. But now we have to tell something to make it play. And that's where we can use buttons, or we can even use movie clips as buttons. And so we are going to first use this cloud as button, and then we can add another button if you want, just to learn why it has buttons in animate. So let's see here. This one says get current frame number. That's not what I want. Click to go to frame and stop. I don't want him to play and stop, go to a different frame and stop. I want to go to a different frame and play. And for that matter, I don't see here, and again, this is the limitations of the transition to HTML5. I don't see just a plain old play. So we're going to take this one on our own. I'm going to click on this cloud, and maybe I'll go ahead and click on one of these, like click to go to, because I want the cloud. And remember, if you don't click on anything, it's going to yell at you and say, this action requires an object to be selected on stage. An object is something like the cloud or the monster or the mountains. We didn't have to do that for the stop action, because that does not require an object. It requires a frame, because this tells the frame to stop. But in this case, something I want to click on. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this guy. And remember, it gave it a name because I didn't. Let's call this guy Sam. So let us click on that and look at that. It says this.Sam, listen for a click. That means when you click on Sam, which is the oh, I'm sorry, that's not what I want. I don't want to click on Sam. So let me turn that. Let me delete this. Okay, I want to click on the cloud. So I click on the cloud. I still want to call this Sam. The cloud, I'll just call it cloud. Okay, but this name is going to be important because I want the cloud to make Sam do something. All right, so I'm going to click on the cloud and click on here. And it says, this cloud, listen for a click. That means when I click on the cloud, do this function. And again, remember, this function, whatever you call it, it made up this weird name, and that's fine, because here's where it defines it. And here's where it tells you to go to and play 5. But look on our main timeline, there is no frame 5. This tells us replace number 5 in the code with the frame number you would like to go to, playhead. This is what we're going to do next, where we're going to be navigating the timeline for an choose your adventure style book. But in this case, we don't want to navigate to frame 5. We want Sam to go to and play, because right now he stopped. So we keep this, but I'm going to get rid of this. Unfortunately, again, there's no just play. There's a stop, but there's no play. But even if there was a play, it would probably do something like that, which is not what we want, because again, we don't want the main timeline to play. Who do we want to play? We want Sam dot to play. So notice how I put Sam here, and that tells it to go inside the symbol called Sam, and then tell that timeline to play. And so it goes inside Sam and tells this timeline to play, because remember, we told it to stop. So let's see if that works. Again, let's peek at that script again one more time. If I click on the cloud and it feels a click, that means I click on the cloud. Remember, this could be something else like enter frame or tick. This could be a swipe. This could be a double tap. This could be whatever I do. But in this case, I click on the cloud and it does whatever this is. Whatever this is written here. And it tells it that's what this is. It's Sam's play. Command enter. I click on the cloud. Woo! He pops. Woo! He pops. Okay. And of course, you can make it do something more fun, like pop and dance around, swim, and then go back to his cloud. And this is a common thing you'll see again in interactive apps. Let us do one more with the boat. The boat is not a symbol yet. And I did make the little monster symbol. No, I think I did. Let's zoom in on it. Yep. So let's make the boat a symbol along with the monster. Okay. Let's convert that to symbol. Boat with monster. So because I grabbed two separate layers and made it into a symbol, it placed it in one layer. So I'm going to have to grab this guy, cut him out of here, make a new layer, paste him in place, and drag this layer behind. So now you can be peeky. Okay. Now the reason I brought him along with the boat is because when I rock the boat, I want the monster to rock with it so it doesn't look strange. So I'm just going to make some keyframes here. And again, if I was doing this for real, I'd probably put a little mask for the bottom of the boat so it looks like it's in the water. So, sorry about that. Now let's rock it this way so it looks a little more fun. All right. Now let's slow it down. Again, you guys will take the time to make it a little nicer. I'm going to insert a few more frames to keep it going. Okay, so that's a little better. Oops. All right. So same thing. We're going to add a little action here. And again, you could use the code snippets, but we know now that it's this dot stop, and it's a function, semicolon, because we end every statement with a period. And so when we play this, the boat shouldn't be rocking. Alrighty. Now in this case, I want to click on the boat and then rock it. I don't want to click on a separate object. So in that case, this will be my activation thing. And so I can click on this boat, give it a name. Let's call it Boat Bob. Alrighty. And now in my code, I'm going to write the same code in the same place. And again, I can use code snippets, or I can also copy this and change this to Boat Bob, because that's what this symbol is. So if I click on Boat Bob, do this function. Let's call it rock boat. Remember, no spaces, no weird symbols, just text for now. Okay? And then we write rock boat here. Now we don't want Sam to play, we want the same thing we just clicked on to play. So Boat Bob. So let's see how that goes. Let's hit Command Enter. And let's click, yep, click, and you see it rocks a little bit. Okay. And that's how you do interactive objects. In our next video, we will show how to navigate a timeline to make interactive media like a choose your own adventure type book or choose your own adventure type game.